Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1610. I think I didn't double check that, and I wasn't live yesterday, so may or may not be. It's either 1609 or 1610. I think it's 1610. Happy Tuesday. Did I say Monday just a second ago? It is Tuesday. I was not live on Monday yesterday. I was preparing for a massive trade. So we got the trade finished up. I was hurriedly organizing boxes to send off to Shane, and I got rid of 65 four-row boxes, and it didn't put a dent. Like you can't tell a difference. Now, the reason you can't tell the difference is because the boxes were in like different, some were in my card or storage room. A bunch were in my shipping room. Some were in the garage, and then probably 20 of them were in the storage unit. So yeah. So I'm in purge mode. I am in purge mode. Because I have 4 rows. I'm like opening up 4 rows and 5 rows, and it's like all 90 upper deck, 91 Fleer. And it's like, oh. So I think I'm going to just throw a bunch of shit away because I'm not going to spend the time digging through 90 upper deck to see if a Bo Jackson or Ken Griffey Jr. is in there to sell it for $2 on eBay Live. I'm probably just going to throw the whole box in some cases. Some of the boxes I'll use. It's like there's a lot more value in the box. I had somebody, and I get these a lot because I have an ad on Facebook Marketplace for like my whole storage unit. And I get like, I'll clean your unit for $150. It's like, no, I don't need a clean storage unit. Like you're getting cards. Like, so I actually just got one this morning, and I'm in purge mode, and it's like $200, and I'll clean it out. And I'm like, you know what? How about $1,000 and leave it messy? Because I'm gonna keep the storage unit for now. So I'm in purge mode because I got a lot more shit that I can take over there. So, no, don't throw it away. Give it to the kids. Just what kids want. Nelson Santovenia cards. Who? Don't throw cards away. The kids. Think about the children. The children want the 90 upper deck. So so I'm in purge mode. It's like, so thank you, Shane. It was an awesome trade. And just like my deal on Friday with Wally, it was red light. I will give it to you, but you have to drive here and get it when I'm ready to get rid of it. So you start driving. So it was like my deal on Friday, where it's like fair price. And I think the thing with yesterday's trade, it's difficult doing massive trades like this because I thought about Merle says every trick-or-treater gets a 4-0. I thought about, you know what? I've got all this. I feel bad enough handing out packs of score a treat cards because they're garbage. Like the little kids like them, but like you get like the 10-year-olds that now, I mean, some of those 10-year-olds are probably carrying around Pelican cases with 4 and 5 figure cards inside. So no matter what I give them, they'll be like, oh, this is garbage base. But I thought about like doing like packs of cards, and I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to do that because that takes time to curate, and I don't want to do that. So the difficult thing with a massive trade is putting a fair value. Like, what's a fair value on 65 4-row boxes that are basically quarter boxes and dime boxes. And at this point in time, now a month ago, 2 months ago, I probably would have been like, there's no way in hell I'm getting rid of some of these boxes for $25 a box, because there's some good shit. In fact, I know there were 2 boxes yesterday that I paid. Let's see. Let's just say there's 2,500 cards in there. There's probably more because they're more of the older stuff, like 90s stuff. What did I pay per card? Like, I think it was like 7 cents a card. Oh. So I basically gave 2 boxes away in trade value at $25 each, where I think I paid about $150 to $175 for that box. Great investment. So I think I did the math right on that. So it's like, what's a fair market? 2 months ago, I would have been, well, that's $25 a box. And I'd look at the numbers and I paid $150 for this or $175 for this. There's no way in hell I'm, going to sell it for less than $100 or $75. But there comes a time where it's like, number one, I need the space. Like, I am not having space is making me very inefficient, especially in terms of getting inventory and finding inventory. And, instead of, and I don't have the space, it's not like I can just, I've got space on this shelf. I didn't have space anywhere. And I'm running out of space at the storage unit. So space, and when it comes down to it, even these boxes that, have good stuff, and it's like, yeah, I could keep hauling these to card shows and make it a couple $100. It's like, Jesus Christ. You go to a card show, you make $200, $300. I have to haul all that shit. I have to spend 8 hours, where I can do that in no time at all on eBay Live. A year ago, that wasn't the case. 6 months ago, that wasn't the case. I'd haul that shit. I'd keep hauling it to card shows, but now things are different. So what is a fair market value? And I thought, you know what? I thought 6 months ago, $25 would have been, oh my God, this is insane. Like, why is nobody buying these boxes at $25? Now, Cam came over and bought 20 of them a few months ago. I've sold a few here and there out of my storage unit. Right after I put the Facebook ad up, I'd get, I sold 4 here, 2 here, 1 here, and some other random stuff. But it's like, and I still have 60, 70, 80. After putting it and having it on the Facebook Marketplace for several months, taking it to a couple card shows here and there, and I still have all these boxes. Well, $25, it's a price. It's more than fair, but it's not moving fast. And then when I on Friday, I think it was Friday, when I started talking about, I just need to get rid of bulk. And Shane popped in the chat and he's like, let's talk. And we had a Zoom call right after the show. And he's got something going on. I've obviously got something going on. And it was the perfect storm. And he had a lot of like good liquid inventory, like eBay Live liquid inventory, which I was thinking about this morning. There's such a huge difference in good eBay Live inventory that could be absolute garbage for buy it now. Most of what I buy now, I would never, ever buy to list as a buy it now on eBay. I'm trying to think of what some of the like basically any slab I buy. I would never buy the slabs that I'm buying to list on buy it now. But on eBay Live, they move. Junk wax packs. There's no way in hell I would be paying $1 a pack for junk wax to sell it on eBay. Buy it now. But on Live, it moves. Those are just 2 examples. And that's basically what I got yesterday from Shane. And the thing is, now, I'm saying I had good stuff in those 200,000 cards that I traded. But the thing is, it's 200,000 cards. And yes, a lot of the stuff is liquid, but at $1, $2, $3 at a time. And you hit one of those days where there's 10 people in the room and none of those 10 people want junk wax, or not that there was mostly modern. Don't want actually, the junk wax usually moves on eBay Live. The modern, who's I'm trying to think of who would be, there would be a lot of in there. I don't know. Christian McCaffrey, who actually does well on eBay Live, but like a Donruss base card of Christian McCaffrey, yeah, it'll probably sell for $1 or $2 on eBay Live in the perfect storm. But also, I got to go through, I got to sort, I got to pull. There may be, it's also $1 or $2. I'd rather sell $5 items and $10 items and $20 items than piss around with. I've got enough. Like, I still, even after dumping 200,000 cards, I still doesn't look any different. It looks like I have the same amount of cards, and I got rid of 200,000 cards. And I got plenty more of that dollar stuff, left over. So we talked, and Shane's like, so we can probably do a cash trade deal. I'm like, okay. So, the difficult thing is, on my end, it was easy for me to figure out. It's like, well, my value on these boxes, $25 a box. Whether it's a 5-row or a 4-row, $25 a box. So that's easy. And I've worked with Shane enough on the bulk that, a lot of times when we go to card shows, he's usually paying more than that. And so I know that was, in his mind, that's a good deal as long as it's not a bunch of 88 Fleer, right? So, and there were maybe pockets of a couple, junk wax, but for the most part, that was 200,000 modern-ish. We're talking mid 90s up to 2024, maybe some 2025. Now his stuff was a little trickier to put a value on. And so obviously it's his stuff. So I wanted him to, what do you value at? Because my value is like, I've got to get stuff cheap because I'm running auctions, and this could set, like, there's a Jordan slab. Let me show you. If I can find it. So this is a perfect example of, I don't know, and Shane didn't really have an idea of how to place value on this either. I'm pretty sure it's in this. There's also some like Cubs team sets in here. That's pretty cool. Bear with me here. All right, well, it wasn't on there. I don't know where it went. So I'm going to use this as an example instead. So this is a 2007 playoff prestige draft picks, BeckettMarketplace.com dealer exclusive. It says 8 of 10, which I don't know if that means they only created 10 of these cards, because it's not numbered 13. It's number 13, but this is what it is. I don't know if Shane's watching. So there you go. This is the type of card that it's a Calvin Johnson rookie. It's kind of an oddball. It'd probably be perfect for eBay. Buy it now. eBay Live, that could sell for $10. It could sell for $110. Like, that's So the slab that I wanted to show off was a Michael Jordan Beckett slab with like a game used practice jersey in the slab. I think Shane said that they sell for like around $40, which I'm like, that seems a lot lower than what I would have thought, because I think in an eBay Live, that Jordan slab would go for over 100. Now, there's also, so these are some of the slab. Calvin Johnson, that was the only Jordan slab in there, but and there's a Jeter rookie, there's a Brett Favre rookie, but also let me just pull out a stack, just a random stack. But there's also like a Calvin Pickering Bowman Chrome Refractor 8.5. This is kind of unique. Dealer reception major announcement, Sports Collectors Digest slab of a Jeff Bagwell. So at least that's a name. Jeff Bagwell's a name. But you got Bowman Chrome Michael Kadire, PSA 9. Corey Koski, BGS 9. I've never even heard of this guy. Basketball player. Ruben Boomji. Actually, where do you go to school? Oh, Georgetown, yeah. I think he was around the time with Othello Harrington, maybe. Let's see. Brandon Armstrong, New Jersey Nets, out of 500. I don't know who that guy is. Chad Pennington, at least he's a somewhat of a name. Kevin Barlow. So, like, just a bunch of, like, random junk slabs. Like, these, if I was not doing eBay Live, those would probably be in a $1 box. Or maybe like a $2 box. And actually, I'd probably started at like $5. They'd get cherry picked. And then Brandon Armstrong and Ruben Boomji would end up being in a $1 box. And probably still not selling. But on eBay Live, I think there's a mark. Now, they might only sell for $1 or $2 on eBay Live, but the people that are buying them are probably stacking them up and getting, multiples where I'm not, losing out. So that was difficult to place a value because there were 250 slabs. There were some really good stuff like the Jordan, the Calvin Johnson, the Jeter, the Favre rookie. There was a Mark McGwire rookie, and there's some other big names. There's some patches, a couple like low no-name autos. So it's really hard. But then you get Ruben Boomji, and it's like shit. And for something like this, I didn't want to take the time. And like, that was my fear as we were like, go through everything. And I was hoping, thank God, Shane, thank God you had a price, because I didn't want to go through and be like, well, here's what I think I can do on these, on a bunch of like junk slabs. And so we didn't have to do that. And he's like, there's 250 slabs. He's like, how about like in bulk? How about $2 a slab? And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Because I can make that even if I don't sell some of them, I can still probably lot them up. But I know I'm going to get value out of the Jordan. I'm going to get value out of the Jeter, the Calvin Johnson, any other name like that. I can run. I'm not afraid to. People want slabs. Sometimes people just want slabs, even if it's Michael Kadire. And I can run that if it only sells for $3-4 or even $1 or $2. Like, somebody feels like they get a deal, that's good. And I feel like that's a win-win proposition. So there was a bunch of sealed wax. I now have 4 cases of 88 Donruss, 4 cello box cases. So you'll probably be seeing a lot of 88 Donruss coming up. I'll be running packs and boxes from here to eternity on 88 Donruss. There was also a bunch of 89 score, which I will probably rip. I'll probably keep a box aside and just do some random rips because that's a very nostalgic and sentimental set for me. 89 score, love it. What else was there? There was like a motocross extreme sports box, not complete box. I think it was mostly not a full box, but a bunch of packs, mostly the complete box of unopened packs. Non-sport doesn't do well for me on live. So those types of packs could be buy it now. There were some welcome back Cotter packs, which has, if not the first John Travolta trading card, one of the first Smurf cards, packs, Smurf packs. There were a couple Tron packs. And I think the Welcome Back Cotter sells for about 10 to 15 bucks a pack. And there were quite a few in there. What else? There was, Raiders of the Lost Ark, maybe. So there were some like 70s and 80s unopened packs. A box of Project 2020, which he priced out at like 50 cents a card, I think. And then a box of unopened stuff that he's like, this is just a throw in. What else? Project 2020. I think that was it. So, and he had a price for everything, which was like more than fair, because that's like with my deal with Chris, we did a lot of wax last week. When he sent the price list and what he had, it's like, yeah, I can do that. I need it. First of all, I'm pretty good on junk wax now. I don't need any more junk wax right now. Although I could always use wax that I am in need. Like, obviously, I don't need any more 88 Donruss. I don't need any 89 score. But I could use, I am running low on like pretty much any type of football wax. So if anybody has any football unopened packs or boxes, let me know what you have and what a price would be. And we might be able to work out a deal. If I can get it. Look, Chris had a great deal on his stuff. Obviously, Shane had a good price on his stuff. So basically what it came out to be in trade value. So it's 65 boxes times 25 bucks. What's that come out to? $1,625. So $1,625 was basically the trade value. The stuff, this is why it's a perfect trade, because I get rid of 200,000 cards. I got rid of 65 boxes. Doesn't look like it put a dent in my areas, but it does. I've got a lot of empty shelf space. Now it just comes to a point of when I get time to get to that, it's going to help. I've got like an October 31st deadline to get that room cleaned up. It's not happening this week. Madison Card Show coming up, but maybe I can tackle it next week. So it helps me get space. And it gets me, it turns not necessarily non-liquid inventory, because what I traded away was liquid inventory. But with what I do, it's less liquid, and it's really liquid for Shane with what he's doing in a couple different spaces. So it worked out really well for both. Plus, I was able to, instead of $1,600, what was I going to do? I could turn that, I could use that money Saturday at the Madison Card Show, which I will spend money on Saturday at the Madison Card Show, getting, slabs and other stuff. I'll probably, be looking through dollar boxes still, because I can't get away from that, and I don't want to. But instead of, the 1,600 would have been nice, but what I got was nicer, because it's all inventory, and I got it at a price that there's no way I would get this price anywhere else. So the price was perfect. And so it was the perfect trade, because it helped both of us in multiple areas, because Shane's using this stuff for a couple things. I'm using this, I'm using this stuff for eBay Live, but I'll probably throw some stuff on Buy It Now, like the non-sport packs. I'll probably put on Buy It Now eventually. And most importantly, it frees up some space. And, that was kind of the thing where I got to a point where I'm opening boxes and it's like, God, this is all 91 Upper Deck. I don't and I jokingly, you need a 5-row of 91 Upper Deck. No, it's like, well, hey, this is a nice 5-row box. Let's just dump it. It's not recycle. If it was recycle week, that garbage bin, that recycle bin would probably be full of baseball cards. Because I was in purge mode yesterday. And it was important to get the garage is kind of, because my wife sees the garage every day. Like the basement, she can choose to not come down here and see my disaster. But the garage is a different story. So got some more boxes out of the garage. So it was a great trade. So you will see some of this stuff tomorrow night on eBay Live. So I took yesterday off from eBay Live. I'm taking today off. I was thinking about doing a pop-up NBA show or doing an NBA show tonight, a limited, like a 100 auction sale. I just don't have the time. With yesterday's trade and just getting some shipping, I still have a ton of shipping. I think I shipped out over 100 orders yesterday, but I think I'm at like 600. No, I'm under 600 now. 585 orders to ship. But that's eBay Live. So that will take no time. It'll take a lot of time, but it won't take as much time as it would buy it now stuff. So in most of I have it all in the same area now, and I'm just going through some stuff. So I'm going to do some shipping, a lot of shipping today and tonight. And then I also need to get prepared for tomorrow night's marathon show, Collector's Corner, and it's also Madison Card Show. So I should have, for any dealers, I think Max is in the chat, I should have the parking passes. It's annoying. This parking situation is really annoying the shit out of me, because I got another email from a rep, and the verbiage was almost like, you don't have to pay if you get here before a certain time. But it's like, but I got billed last month. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. So it's kind of annoying the shit out of me, but we'll get through it. So Madison Card Shows this Saturday, Alliant Energy Center, 250 tables sold out. I've had more. This is probably the most vendors I've had reach out to try to get in. It's crazy. And I had a couple vendors. There's like 3 or 4 vendors that I said tables are going on sale, or I emailed them or texted them or Instagrammed them. Hey, by the way, make sure to get your tables. Didn't. Oh, I didn't see it, blah, blah, blah. Well, I can't order it for you. I did everything but. So I have no sympathy. But then just a lot of other, dealers coming out. So I'm going to use that to my advantage for the November show and get some different dealers in on for the Saturday show for sports. And then December, January, February is all at the Alliant. So save, get that piggy bank ready and save for parking. Save for parking. All right, let's go to the chat. It's we're almost 30 minutes in, but I just wanted to get the trade stuff. I wanted to get to the topic early. And how about this? It's only 8 o'clock. Andy Mack, good morning. It's been a while. I'm actually early-ish today. Cooter's in the house. Good morning. Great trade. It was a great trade all around. Gem City, good morning. Old school showtime for trade talk. Yeah. You dip, Daniel. Red Light, good morning. I'm throwing away. I am throwing shit away. And I'll make sure to take photos and put them on Twitter and anger the masses. Morning, Unicorn Cupcake. No, donate it to the kids. Kids love 90 Upper Deck. Goon Collector is here. I give them to the kids, to be honest, with Halloween packs. Yeah, I just don't want to do that. Gem City says 1994 Topps is worse than 1991 Upper Deck. Changed my mind. God, I cannot rate a worst. I mean, going through Bach, I think 90 Donruss, although 90 Donruss does have some decent, like, sellable cards, like the Tom Glavine, John Smoltz error card I got $25 for on eBay Live, which is just a kind of a ridiculous price. But there's some like error cards, and there's value in 90 Donruss. But when I see that red border, it's like, 91 Upper Deck is getting to the point where I just want to toss it all. Same with 90 Upper Deck, 91 Fleer, 89 and 90 Topps. 88 Topps. If it's wax is a different story. Like anything wax, like pack 91 Fleer packs, they'll sell. 89 Topps packs, they sell really well. Topps packs sell really well. But man, I don't know if I could pick a word like, what's your 5 worst, least favorite sets? It's a tough call. Andy Mack says kids barely want modern base cards. Yeah, I mean, go to a card show and just, I guarantee you, if you go to any card show and you walk around, you'll find like a blaster box of base. Like somebody opened a blaster box and left the base, took the decent cards and left the base. Merle says every trick-or-treater gets a 4-row box. Andy Mack says just dump a 4-row in their bag, right? Parents would love that. Goon Collector says to Gem City, the archive 2024 cards with the 1994 designs and modern players look great. I love archives. Even when they do the shitty designs. I will not change your mind. You change my mind. Gem City says, sure, the design is fine, but the actual card set of players is hot garbage. Goon says, OG 100%. Goon says, but I'm only chasing the standard in those old 90 sets like Nolan Ryan, Griffey Jr. A business mogul. How to turn $175 to $25 in one easy trade. Peter, what's going on? But here's the thing. Like, I feel like I got a lot more than $1,600 in value. And I'm sure Shane probably feels the same. Like, that was just, those were the dollar amounts we put. But like, I'll make up that loss on those 2 boxes. I'll make up on that loss on a few of the slabs. Peter's in the house. Good morning. Gem City says, would it benefit you to have a part-time inventory specialist who is essentially a cleaning and organizing person? Probably. I think hiring anybody would be beneficial at this point. Gundy's in the house. Good morning. Max says, I think my problem is I'm probably would be a shitty boss. I don't know. That's just my thought. I'd probably be a shitty boss. Max says, I think that's the beauty of the hobby. Everybody can win on deals. Shane is doing the work setting up at shows weekly and can glean tons of value from what he grabbed, but he probably had the same. No, Shane does not set up at shows. He buys at shows. He is not setting up at shows, but he has other ways that he's selling. Thoughts on the stuff he wanted to get rid of to you as well. Things move on different avenues and have different values over the course of time in people's businesses. That's exactly this case. Like, the stuff that he traded me, he didn't have much. Like, could he sell it? Absolutely. He didn't really want to. But for me, this is like the type of stuff that I need at this point. And, you know, it's going to sell for, in most cases, sell for more than $1 or $2. Whereas a lot of the stuff that I offloaded was going to sell for $1 or $2. Now, 200,000 cards, but a lot of those wouldn't sell. I might list 5 or 10 cards in a row. If I just took a random box and started listing stuff on eBay Live, it's like, here's Bo's yard sale. 10 cards in a row may not sell, maybe even more depending on the box. 10 cards in a row could sell for $5 a piece. I went back to my, we went back to my storage unit to finish off the deal. And there were a few boxes that I had taken to the last Janesville show that I had made those dime boxes. They were dime boxes, and they'd only been gone through at the Janesville show. So I was kind of thumbing through as I was filling, empty spots. And I get to a box that had football. And I saw some Bowman Chrome U. And I'm like, I get requests, and if there's anybody that's popped up, there was a first Bowman Chrome Jackson Dart, which is probably on eBay Live, at least, is a $20 card. I'm curious what it sells for on Buy Now. I can get 20. I mean, I got $15 for the second year Bowman Chrome U of Jackson Dart. Nobody bought it for 10 cents at the last Janesville card show. Let's see. First Bowman Chrome Jackson Dart. And there was like an Emeka Egbuka. So the last one sold for like $6 on oh my God. I'm going to go shopping on Buy It Now because I can move these for $20 on eBay Live. I wonder if there's any for sale. I might just buy some right now. I don't want to buy too many. Let's do buy it now. Lowest first. $1.99 plus shipping. We're just going to buy it now. I don't need to do a best offer. PayPal. So I just paid $3.42 for a first Bowman Chrome Jackson Dart. Probably get $20 out of it on eBay Live. All right, let's buy one more. This one's $2.50. Buy it now plus 75 cents shipping. $3.43. Let's buy a third one. All right, and this is $1.99 plus $1.32 shipping. We don't need to offer we don't need a best offer. $3.49. So there you go. I just bought 3 first Bowman Chrome Jackson Darts for about what? $11 shipped. And hopefully I should get $50. Because not all of them, not all 3 will sell for $20 a piece. But I'm surprised they sell for that cheap on. And it's kind of weird like that. Where are we at? Let's see. Gundy's in the house. Good morning. Andy says, if 99-cent cards, Bo, could hear you now, right? And this is where inventory has changed for me. Where 6 months ago, and I was going through, and this kind of popped in my head yesterday as I was going through boxes. There was a box of 2002 Topps Total, which it is a great set for eBay Buy It Now, because it's got cards of players that don't have other cards. It's got relief pitchers. It's great for team collectors. I love it as a Cubs collector because this guy only has 3 cards. It's great for TTM autograph collectors. I sold a ton. Now, is it super liquid? No. It's going to sit for a while, but it does move. And it moves faster than the 47 Aristides Aquino rookies that I had in my eBay store. So I would never put a Mike Sodders. I don't think Mike Sodders has a Topps Total, but just a random name. Let's use who's a Cub that had Jeff Yoder. I don't know if he had a Topps Total. He had a Bowman card, but Jeff Yoder, just for an example, Jeff Yoder. I would never put Jeff Yoder on eBay Live. And kind of vice versa. I'm not going to put a Jackson Dart first Bowman Chrome on eBay Buy It Now and sell it for $2-3 when I can get 20 for it on eBay Live. So it's like, and like I said earlier, like the junk wax packs, like, in fact, if I was doing Buy It Now, if I was doing $1.75 Buy It Now free shipping, and I had a stack of Patrick Mahomes cards and a stack of 2002 Topps Total, I would list the 2002 Topps Total before I listed the Patrick Mahomes, because the Patrick Mahomes, there's so many that it's a race to the bottom. You're getting the same amount. You could probably sell a Jeff Yoder Topps Total for $2.50 free shipping. Try selling a Patrick Mahomes base Donruss for $2.50. It's going to sit probably just as long as the Jeff Yoder. Then you're probably going to have a better chance of selling the Jeff Yoder than the Patrick Mahomes. But also use Card Dealer Pro. It's a lot faster. By the way, use my promo code. I don't know if I don't think I've been getting my payout. I don't know if it's active, but check it out. But if you're using Card Dealer Pro, your savings, you put a batch of 50 Patrick Mahomes cards, it's going to be 50 different sets. You may have to tweak some of the listings. 50 Topps Total, probably going to be 95 to 100% accuracy on identification for those. So your time spent is way down. Where we at? James, what's going on? I'm probably not going to see James. Well, I'll still be going to shows as a buyer, but I won't be set up. James says, how many more boxes? You got $25 a pop. A lot of Bowman, or is a mix of weird shit? It's mostly a mix of weird shit. Not really any 80s and 90s unless you want that. I've got plenty of 80s and 90s. I pretty much have gone through. Right now, nothing's organized. Everything that I had organized is gone. Now I have to, but I will reorganize and I will have more. The Bowman stuff, the newish Bowman is, I'm still going to do the same thing you're doing. So I really don't have any Bowman that you would be interested in, unless you want 2013 and 2014 and 2015 Bowman. I've got a lot of that, but any modern Bowman I'm going to keep because of Jacob Mizorowski and who else popped out? Tyler Soderstrom at the beginning of the year, Cal Raleigh, which I'm still looking, and the Blue Jays won last night. So it's like, I'm probably going to find my first Bowman stack of Cal Raleighs, because I know somewhere in my basement, I probably have 100 first Bowman Cal Raleighs and maybe even some chrome and refractors. And that market's probably taken a deep dive today after their loss. Long time no see. Yeah, I don't know. When will I see you again? There is a Janesville show coming up, but I think the Janesville show. I'm like, what's in my pocket? Oh, I got this in the mail yesterday. Tatanka autograph. That's the last of my wrestling autos that I had picked up. I'm like, what the hell's in my pocket? I think the next Janesville show is the same day as my Pokemon show. And I kind of thought, what if I pay somebody for the day just to be the promoter for the day at the Madison Pokemon show? Because literally all I did last time was watch football in the lobby. And then I bought a blaster box of football cards and opened that while watching football. Basically, I'm there to greet vendors. And a lot of times the Pokemon show is a lot more work in the morning, because I have to be there to greet most of the vendors, because it's still a newish show. So people don't know where they're going. And there were 3 rooms. So there's a lot of work from 6 to 9, but then from 9 to 3, it's just sit on my ass and watch football. So it's almost like, what if I do that? I hire somebody hey, come in at 8. And I'll kind of, you can kind of get a lay of the land and feel it out. And then once everybody's settled in, you're just on site as, commander-in-chief of the Madison Pokemon show. And then I'll come back at the end of the day and help tear down. Although I haven't decided what I'm going to do, if I'm going to keep that 3rd room open for the November shows. It may, I don't know what I got to worry about this week before I worry about November. TD Sports Cards. Good morning, all of you Mike Evans collectors. Includes me also. Hey, there's probably a Mike Evans slab in one of these boxes. Merle says, note to self, study 89 score. Surely coming soon to a name that player. Hey, there you go. Because it'll be fun for me to open. So maybe we'll run 89 score on Friday. For name that player. We skipped it last week. Red Light says, you have more room for a Goodwill pallet. I don't, honestly, I probably at the storage unit I do now, because all of the boxes were on the tables where I usually stage my Goodwill pallet. It's still available. It's still for sale. And I'm not even with a discount. I'm not buying it. Orlando, what's going on? Good morning. Red Light got his 73 yesterday. Awesome. Thank you. Cody says, good morning. Ready for Saturday. I'm excited. We've got baseball card exchanges coming, so I'm excited for that. A lot of good stuff coming on Saturday. Good morning, Gem City. I already said good morning. He's saying good morning to Orlando, and Orlando is saying it back. Todd is with us. Good morning. Nashville. What's going on, Nashville? Good morning. Dan's in the house. What's happening? Merle says 91 Fleer is the worst. Dan says, any chance you can do a raffle to get rid of some of your 4 rows? No. Not sure if it's legal or would gain enough interest. It would not gain enough interest. It's garbage. Ship your cards to me and I'll organize them. You know how much money that would cost me? Remember, Dan's in South Korea. Let's see. It would cost enough just to ship them anywhere in the domestic United States, let alone internationally. Merle says if Bo got someone to clean and organize things, then he would have more trouble trying to find it. That would probably, like, everything's so organized. Where is it? Everything's too organized. Throw 4 rows on top of the cars at the parking ramp at the card show. There you go. Max says 2 hires you need: 1 to ship, 1 to list. List, I don't need anybody to list. Well, unless when I am doing higher end stuff like the Barry Sanders, I do need to get listed for tomorrow night's show, which I would love to have somebody like sort and organize and somebody to ship. A monkey can operate the scanner and AI software. Your number one job should be inventory acquisition and having enough for employees to list. I've certainly got enough for employees to list. Cooter says the improved liquidity that you can reinvest compounds the value for you. Yes. How long would it take to turn 65 boxes? Oh, God. Years. Which less than half wouldn't sell. I mean, it would take me years just to move half, if that. And you know what I gained now is it's probably going to take me years to move 88 Donruss at, you know, it's probably, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to sell packs one at a time. I'm going to sell a box here and there because I don't want to like flood my market with 88 Donruss wax. That's, you know, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you break it down. I think it was 48 boxes. I don't know how many packs are in a box, 24 maybe, or 12. I can't remember. Wait, 12 boxes per case, 24 packs. So what's the math on that? 4 cases times 12 boxes times 24 packs, or it's the other way around. Either way, that's 1,152 packs, which would be, you know, selling packs if they sold at the same rate. But it's kind of like when you go from listing, if you have 1,000 listings in your store and all of a sudden you put 50,000 listings, your sell-through rate is not going to be the same at 1,000 listings compared to 50,000 listings. That was the first mistake I made running my numbers forecasting when I started this business. Like, well, even expecting a drop-off, I didn't expect the drop-off there would be. So, yeah, I run an 88 Donruss rack pack or cello pack, and it sells for $10. I can run one an hour later. It's like, well, we already saw that. Takes one less buyer out of the pool. It sells for $6. Next one sells for $3. Next time around, now all of a sudden you're starting to see it's like, well, now it's a $3 pack. And then all of a sudden it's a $1 pack. It's like now we're back to square one where it's like, well, what I got rid of. So I've got to be strategic because I've seen that with basically everything that when I buy in lots of packs, 89 Pro Set really lost its luster. And I still have a bunch. Like it kept selling, and then there's a tipping point, and now it's not selling as well. And every once in a while I catch lightning in a bottle with anything in the live selling sphere. But it comes like I've got so little into it. Like then I start listing boxes, and it's like, well, if I can get, boxes were going for like $30 on Sunday nights. Like it's lower than I was hoping for, but still enough room in it for me to make a few bucks. And at this point, I'm basically, in trade value, I'm going to, as the however it works, I'll tell my accountant, well, this deal was trade value of $1,625. However that works. And that's why you hire an accountant to make sure they know the laws. So I don't have to study up on how to do taxes and shit like that. So yeah. Max says, I've decided to take my next step by the end of the year, but it's a very costly one. Oh, I'm intrigued. Dan says to Max, did you get season tickets and moving to Chicago? There you go. Andy says, you're an eBay seller when you don't send offers on $1.99 cards, right? I had and I feel I never responded, and the buyer bought it outright. It was like it was one of the WCW magazine cards, Johnny Be Bad. It was $2.50 or best offer. And buyer sent me a message. He sent me an offer first for $1.50, and it's like I'm not going to mess with that. Plus, it's probably a loss at this point at $1.50. So I just ignored it, and then they followed up with a message, and I think they bought from me before. This is my customer service sucks. I'll admit it. And then they sent me a message like, "Hey, maybe my offer was too low. Let me know what you can do." It's like just buy it. It's $2.50, and they ended up buying it. So thank you. It's like, and so that's at this point. Like now, I understand why people turn off best offer when you have 50,000 and like your business is moving volume. That was important to me, but best offer was very important to me. It's not anymore because I have 85 items in my eBay store. If somebody came in and if I had 50 wrestling cards and they wanted to send an offer of $1.50 on each one, then yeah, I'd probably take it. But on a one-off, no. Max says, never say never, Dan, but outside of like Montana or something, there's nowhere else in the entire world I would want to move less than Chirac. Max says, I take that back. That opinion can stay for the northern half of the U.S. Couldn't live in the South either. Oh, I could live in the South. I could live in South Florida. I could hang out with Orlando in South Florida because I love the heat and humidity. Arizona, I don't know about Arizona. I don't know. But I honestly wouldn't want to move. Florida, I'd have to worry about hurricanes and humidity. I only have to worry about humidity for a month in Wisconsin and no hurricanes. Have to worry about tornadoes, but we get, I feel like hurricanes are much more of a threat in South Florida than tornadoes are in southern Wisconsin. Knock on wood. Let's see. Dan says, with the Blue Jays win, this will be Donnie Baseball's first World Series. That's awesome. I'm so happy for Don Mattingly. That is pretty cool. And for that, I'm glad the Blue Jays got in. And regardless of who won between the two teams last night, I was going to root for them anyway, whether it was going to be the Blue Jays or the Mariners. I like the Cal Raleigh story, but the Don Mattingly story, I didn't realize that until it was announced. Most people probably didn't realize it. Max says it's not. Graphic was incorrect. Incorrect. Talk to Mike. What was this about? Graphic was incorrect. Let's see. Oh, about Janesville. Well, he sent me a message that it was going to be. Did they change it? Because I think it was like set for that date because he sent me a text about it. So maybe they changed it. Maybe they didn't realize it was the same day as the Pokemon show and changed the date on it. Dan says I have to keep verifying myself on eBay after removing things from my cart. No idea why. That's interesting. Unicorn says 36 packs probably. Yeah, Cellos. Yeah, I think of the side of the box. I can look at the photo. I think it's 12 boxes of 24 packs. Let's see. 12, 24, yeah. Let's see. Gem City says, so what you're saying is liquidity is superior to quantity as it will allow for better or larger inventory purchases. That is correct. And something I never said a year ago. Something I never said. I was always quantity. And then when you run out of space and you're not, although it was, once I got to close to 60,000 listings and all of a sudden it's like, you're kind of capped. Like you can't, you're capped at 60,000 unless you open a second eBay store, which I'm still not. I think you're just chasing your own tail when it comes to multiple eBay stores, unless you have like a garage sale store and a card store. Like I'm not. I think a second eBay store is I don't know. If it works for people, it works. I would never do it. But yeah, once I got close to that maxing out that store, and all of a sudden, like, you can't grow. Like, most of your inventory that sells is like new additions. It's nice to have those trickle down. And, you know, I had inventory before I took it down 7.5 years. If it wasn't going to sell in 7.5 years, I don't think it was ever going to sell. And that was something that finally was pounded into my head, maybe on my own accord. That I lost my thought. December 28th. Okay. So yeah. So Max says, I'm talking the South, not the Southern United States. What's the difference? South of Wisconsin or south of the border, like Mexico? Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi. Well, that's the Southern United States. Arizona is very livable. Your neighbors will eat you in Florida. That's only south. You're okay in South Florida. Once you get up north, that's where it's a little scary. Where it's basically Alabama. My apologies if I offended any Alabamians. Let's see. Max says Janesville not being November 30th. Cool. Okay. Uncle Rich, good morning. Like, subscribe, all that. And please, Blue Jays, please beat that. Hey, maybe I can get rid of the 20,000 Blue Jays cards I still have. December 28th. Awesome, because we just had the December 27th show at the Alliance. So I'll get to go to Janesville as a buyer. Ooh. Who knows? In 3 months, maybe I'll be doing card shows again. You never know. Good morning, Tracy. What's going on? Sneaking in here at the end. Geography is third hour with Mr. Lammers. Quit that shit now. All right. So that's what I had for today. We got cleaners coming today, which I think I'm probably just gonna close this office door and put a sign: "Do not clean." I've got the rec room to get picked up. And then obviously I got cards on the floor everywhere. So Shane walked in and he's like, oh my God. Because the rec room is like, there's shit in the rec room, which there's actually, and I told him, I'm like, there's actually less shit in the cards in the rec room now than there was a month or two ago. Because over the summer, one of the collections I bought over the summer, I was storing underneath this table that was in the rec room. So yeah. So I gotta pick this shit up for the cleaners, and then as long as the floor is picked up, which is the worst part, and you can't even see past it's even worse past the bobbleheads. Because Shane's like, oh yeah, you can only see the table on Hobby Evolution. I'm like, yeah, and then everything back here you can't see. Let's see. Max says, by that point, you could be setting it. Very well could be. In 3 months, I very well could be doing card shows. Or I get November to 2 months. I very well could be. Warn the cleaners, there is a Charizard in this room. That room needs cleaned. Mike Smith's in the house. It's Low Roller Scratcher. He found some skill games. Max says, you guys think that's bad. You wouldn't want to come here. I only wish my living rooms and kitchen looked like that. So yeah, it's a disaster. So I'm gonna get picking up, make my coffee, get things picked up, get organized. So I want to focus on shipping today, as well as I want to get email out. Hopefully I can get the parking passes from the Alliant today, and I can get those emails sent out tonight. Tomorrow night is eBay Live. I'm going to start a little early tomorrow night, 6:30. I'm going to run. My plan is to do 350 auctions. That's the plan. We may not finish 350. It depends on how the night goes. But I'm going to run the Barry Sanders auto. Taking some risks. Tom Brady, PSA 8 rookie. I'm going to run that Taysom Hill Gold Prism. I'm going to run probably a wrestling auto. I've got a bunch of slabs, even more slabs now. So I've got Jordan slabs. I got a Peyton Manning rookie, PSA 9, Jordan slabs. I got some vintage. I'm going to run. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I talked about this. Oh, because I ran it Sunday night and I teased it Sunday morning on Hobby Evolution. I did run the Harry Steinfeld T20. It was a T206. T206 Harry Steinfeld SGC 1 or 1.5. It ended up doing much better than I expected. It almost sold for almost double what I was thinking it would go for. I was thinking it'd go for around 35. And it sold for, I think, 70. I think, or close to 65, 70, I think somewhere in that vicinity. So I was happy with that. I ran a Justin Steele first Bowman Chrome Refractor Auto. I think that sold for 20, which I wasn't surprised by that. And I've got multiple of those. So I was okay. $20 bill is nice. I don't know if I want to part with anything that's up there. But I got some other stuff. But I'll run a Cub tomorrow night. I'll run a pre-war Cubs card from my collection. I just got to pick one that probably a T205 because I've got a bunch of T205s and I don't like that set. So I might run a T205 tomorrow night. All right. So let's see. Merle says, wouldn't want to come to my place either. Mike says, Labubu Top sold out in a few minutes. Merle says, I need to trade boxes of cards too. It's my first location only. Taco Tuesday. There we go. All right. I'm going to go hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll do this again tomorrow morning. I don't know what time. Next eBay Lives tomorrow night. Link is in the description. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.